Marcus Aurelius knew what modern people forgot. Most people are not unhappy because their lives are impossible. They're unhappy because they've never learned how to govern their own minds. They wait to feel motivated. They wait for life to become easier. They wait for people to treat them better. And when none of that happens, they call themselves unlucky. But Marcus Aurelius understood something modern society keeps forgetting. Peace is not something you find. It is something you practice. Every morning, every decision, every setback. And buried inside his philosophy was one rule that can change everything. Stop trying to control what was never yours to control. Because the moment you understand that, you stop wasting your life fighting reality. And you start building yourself. The men who were tested. This wasn't philosophy created in comfortable rooms. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor facing wars and a devastating plague. Seneca experienced exile, political danger, and eventually death. Epictetus was born into slavery and lived with physical limitations. These men weren't teaching peace because life was peaceful. They were teaching it because life tested them. Their philosophy wasn't about pretending pain doesn't exist. It was about becoming stronger than the circumstances trying to break you. And Marcus Aurelius left us 7 powerful rules for doing exactly that. Rule 1. Control what is yours. The first mistake people make is spending their lives trying to control other people. You can't control whether someone respects you. You can't control whether someone betrays you. You can't control whether your boss appreciates your work. You can't control the economy. You can't control yesterday. And you certainly can't control what someone thinks about you. But you can control your judgment, your actions, your effort, your response. This is the Stoic dichotomy of control. Separate life into 2 categories. What belongs to you, and what doesn't. Imagine someone insults you. The insult belongs to them. Your response belongs to you. Someone rejects you. Their decision belongs to them. What you do next belongs to you. Someone walks away. You don't have to chase them. You don't have to destroy yourself trying to understand why. You simply ask, what is still within my control? That question can save you years of unnecessary suffering. So today, when something frustrates you, don't immediately ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I do about it? That is where your power begins. Rule 2. Expect difficulty. Most people are shocked when life becomes difficult. Marcus Aurelius wasn't. He expected difficulty. This doesn't mean he wanted suffering. It means he understood that suffering was part of being alive. This is the Stoic practice called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. Before the day begins, imagine what could go wrong. Your meeting could fail. Someone could disappoint you. Your plans could collapse. You could receive bad news. And then ask yourself, if that happens, how will I respond? Now something changes. You are no longer mentally helpless when difficulty arrives. You've already rehearsed your response. Try it tomorrow morning. Before touching your phone, take 60 seconds. Think, today may not go according to plan. Someone may annoy me. Something may break. I may fail. And if it happens, I will remain composed. That's not pessimism. That's preparation. Rule 3. Remember that you will die. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself of death. Not because he was obsessed with dying. Because remembering death makes life more valuable. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. Think about how much time people waste. Arguing over things they'll forget. Trying to impress people they don't even like. Holding grudges for years. Complaining about yesterday. Worrying endlessly about tomorrow. And meanwhile, life is happening today. One day, you will look back and realize that the ordinary Tuesday you ignored was part of your life. The conversation you rushed through. The walk you didn't appreciate. The person you kept postponing time with. You don't get those moments back. So ask yourself, if I knew I had only 1 year left, would I spend today this way? You don't need to become obsessed with death. Use death to become honest about life. It cuts through distractions. It reminds you what actually matters. Rule 4. Don't let your emotions drive the car. Marcus Aurelius didn't believe you should become emotionless. He believed you should become governed by reason. There's a difference. Anger says, respond immediately. Wisdom says, wait. Fear says, run. Wisdom says, look again. Ego says, prove them wrong. Wisdom says, you don't need to prove anything. Think about the last time you sent a message while angry. You probably regretted it. The message took 10 seconds to send. The consequences lasted much longer. So create a rule. When you're angry, pause. Don't respond immediately. Take 10 breaths. Walk away. Write the message if you need to, but don't send it. Return when your mind is quiet. Because strength isn't reacting faster. Sometimes strength is having the power to react and choosing not to. Rule 5. Turn obstacles into training. This may be Marcus Aurelius' most powerful idea. The obstacle becomes the way. You lose the job. That's the obstacle. You use it to build a new skill. Someone rejects you. That's the obstacle. You use it to become stronger. Your business fails. That's the obstacle. You study what went wrong and rebuild. The mistake is thinking, my problem is preventing me from living. The Stoic asks, what can this problem teach me? That's a completely different mindset. Imagine two people facing the same difficulty. One says, why me? The other says, what can I build from this? Same problem, different mind, different future. You don't always get to choose the obstacle, but you can choose what the obstacle produces in you. Rule 6. Stop needing everyone's approval. One of the fastest ways to lose your peace is to make your happiness dependent on other people's opinions. Marcus Aurelius understood that reputation is temporary. Today they praise you. Tomorrow they criticize you. Today they call you successful. Tomorrow they forget your name. If you live for applause, you become a prisoner of the crowd. The Stoic question is different. Did I do what was right? Not, did everyone like me? Not, did they notice? Not, did they congratulate me? Did you do your duty? Did you act with integrity? Did you give your best? If the answer is yes, let the world talk. You don't need permission to become the person you were meant to become. Build quietly. Improve quietly. Let your results speak when they're ready. Rule 7. Return to the present. Marcus Aurelius lived under enormous pressure, but he repeatedly reminded himself to focus on the present moment. Not the entire future. Not every possible disaster. Just the task in front of him. This is where modern life has become dangerous. Your body is in one place, but your mind is everywhere. You're eating while scrolling, working while worrying, talking to someone while checking notifications, sleeping while replaying yesterday. You're physically present, but mentally absent. So practice one simple discipline. When you're working, work. When you're eating, eat. When you're talking to someone, listen. When you're resting, rest. Give one thing your complete attention. You don't need to control your entire life today. You only need to handle this moment well. Then the next one. Then the next. That's how a life is built. Here is the real lesson. Marcus Aurelius wasn't perfect. That's important. He wasn't some superhuman who never became angry, never felt grief, and never struggled. He was human. That's exactly why his philosophy matters. He struggled and practiced. He suffered and practiced. He lost people and practiced. He faced war and practiced. Stoicism wasn't something Marcus merely believed. It was something he returned to every day. Again and again and again. That's the part modern self-improvement often gets wrong. You don't need another motivational speech. You need another practice. Because knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different things. Your 7-day challenge. So don't try to change your entire life tonight. Choose one rule. Just one. For the next 7 days. If you're constantly worried about other people, practice the dichotomy of control. If you're afraid of unexpected problems, practice preparing for adversity. If you're wasting time, remember your mortality. If anger controls you, practice the pause. If you're facing failure, ask what the obstacle can teach you. If you need everyone's approval, practice doing what is right without applause. If your mind is always somewhere else, return to the present. One rule. 7 days. Don't chase perfection. Build consistency. Because a stronger life isn't created in one dramatic moment. It's created through hundreds of small decisions. When nobody is watching. Final reflection. Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the most powerful empires in human history. But his greatest battle wasn't against Rome's enemies. It was against fear, anger, ego, distraction, grief, and the temptation to lose control of himself. His crown gave him authority over millions. But Stoicism taught him something deeper. Authority over yourself is worth more than authority over others. You may not control what happens tomorrow. You may not control who stays. You may not control who leaves. You may not control whether life gives you what you wanted. But you can control the person who faces it. And that is where your freedom begins. So here's the question I want you to think about tonight. Which of these 7 rules do you need most right now? Don't just listen to it. Choose one. Practice it for 7 days. And then come back and tell me what changed. If this way of thinking speaks to you, stay with us. There are more lessons from Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, and the Stoics waiting to be uncovered. Because the goal isn't to become someone who talks about discipline. The goal is to become someone who lives it. Master yourself, and everything else becomes easier to face. You have heard the rule. Now live it. This is not entertainment. This is your psychological toolkit. The crowd talks. The disciplined build. Join the circle. Subscribe for more Stoic rules for strength and self-mastery.